Welcome back to another 10-Minute Tuesday. Today, we are doing team Goose calling. And we got Simon Carlson over here with us today. And I'll let you kind of give or let Joey kind of introduce you in. I'm running the board to make sure you guys' ears aren't blown out. So that's why I'm here. But take it away, boys.
Very important. Thank you for doing that, Carl. Yeah. No, Simon Carlson and I, our dads grew up hunting together. Yeah. So, like, my dad started hunting with your dad. My dad started waterfowl hunting because of your dad. Yeah. And then our dads both taught each other.
And then taught us.
Yeah. And so it's kind of a cool little sentimental deal where, you know, we've been asked to do team duck calling and team goose calling, and Cal and I did team duck calling already. And so it's kind of cool to do team goose calling with you just because of, like, our history together. Yeah. You know?
Totally.
So I'm pretty pumped about it. But, like you are a very accomplished goose caller in my mind.
Thank you.
At 20 years old, you're damn near just as good as me, if not better, you know?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, we haven't blown in a while, so let's see.
I know. We haven't hunted together since, what, October?
Yeah.
October. And I haven't blown my goose call in 2 months.
Yeah, we've been slacking.
Ord. So ord. Yeah. Dude, but, like...
We'll see how we do.
But, like, if you listen to our podcast on Apple or Spotify, you can hear the episode with Simon and how we're talking about how we hunted together and how we've both learned from some of the best goose callers.
Oh, geez.
In the world. As we talked about on the podcast, what would you say was the note that brought you to the next level as a goose caller?
Probably the rolling double cluck, I
really?
would say. Yeah.
Would you mind doing that for us?
Sure.
And even then, dude, you do it a little differently than I do.
Yeah.
You really focus on that moan on the front part, whereas I just push the note. So yours versus mine.
Yeah.
But you go.
Yeah, I kind of add a little spice in the beginning.
But it sounds just as good. It's just a little different.
It's just different. Yeah.
You know? So I think that's really interesting how... That's what I love about goose calling, man.
It's so
like
fun.
It's so cool. Like if you have one goose caller, so like you and I grew up goose calling together.
Yeah.
And we learned from the same people essentially.
Totally.
But like even then, you still have a different style than I do.
Yeah.
You know, so then when you combine those two styles, it sounds goosey, dude.
Yeah. It's like music.
No, dude, it's better than music.
It's better than music.
Better than music.
Yeah.
Now do we get a little hard? Yeah. Is it okay? Yeah. But anyway, this episode is about team calling, and you know plenty on a goose call. So it's like, have you noticed that when you're goose hunting, that when you have two good callers in the blind, it's a lot better than one good caller in the blind?
Yeah, for sure. Especially when they know how to work together too.
Right. Well, what do you think does that?
Does what part of what makes it
why
good?
is two better than one?
I mean, two good callers, you sound like a lot of geese.
You sound like a lot more geese.
So much about goose calling is knowing when to call. I mean, it's so easy to overcall geese and just scare them away, especially like high-pressured geese.
Exactly.
So, like, when you both know like that less is more, you know, and you can kind of work together, it makes it sound pretty good.
No, exactly. And
you sound like geese.
And one really good example is the hiccup. You know what the hiccup is, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if I'm doing it by myself, it sounds like this. Sounds like that, but if you just focus on the moan and I build off of your moan, just do a moan and I'll do a cluck.
Yeah.
Right, but then if you build speed, it gets even more intense. Crazy. So totally. If one person is focused on like, okay, we're going to start at the low end and we're going to bring it all the way up to the top end.
Yeah.
It gets disgusting.
Yeah.
Because your moan is different than mine.
Yeah.
And my cluck is different than your cluck.
Totally. I think it's a directional thing too. Like if I'm moaning this way and you're clucking that way, like they can hear your cluck, and like even in the hunting scenario, like you'll be able to hear a cluck way more than a moan, you know? But even just the moan murmur in the background and maybe not directly at whatever we're calling at, like it just makes it so much more than moan cluck right in one direction at the geese, you know? Makes it seem like there's more geese there.
Well, it's like if you and I are hunting out of panel blinds or A-frames, whatever like that, and you're moaning at the geese and I blow my cluck at the ground,
Totally.
even that makes
Same
a difference.
thing, like-
can we let's do that into the mics. So you moan into the mic and I'll moan away from the mic.
Yeah,
Or,
totally.
or I'll cluck outside
Yeah,
the mic.
yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Yeah.
Like you can hear at the beginning of the double clucks.
even in the headphones.
Right.
It sounds way different.
It's so freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
But like you've hunted with just as many of experienced hunters as I have. And like the power of calling as a group. And it's just nuts.
Yeah, it can completely change the hunt, especially if you're hunting pressured geese.
It's so cool, man. So like before this all started, we had to make sure that we were on the same page of like how to group call and whatever. But like we've hunted together for
Took one try.
it literally
was not
took
very
one
long.
try.
Yeah.
But it's like let's do like a little excerpt from that and just kind of whatever for all the people that want to watch or listen.
So giving a quick instructional though, like what's running through your head when you're doing that? Like who's the leader, who's the follower, what are you thinking and looking and hearing?
So usually how it goes is the best caller is the leader.
Yep.
Because they're the best at watching birds. They're usually the most experienced.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But like in a situation with Simon and I feel like he's such a good caller and he knows how to read geese probably just as much as I do, if not better. And so I'm really good at following. Like I can fill in the gaps really well just because my entire life I was following. And now that I'm with Midwest Flyways and I took so much time to perfect goose calling, I still feel like I'm best as a follower. And I love hunting with people that are better than me because I'm always learning, man. I've never taken on that thing where it's like, oh, I'm the best person here. Everything I say has to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I feel like in the perfect place when there's someone who's like been doing this for 35 years.
Yeah, like on the podcast, what we talked about is like hunting with people that are always better at calling than we are, So we always were kind of just down in the pit below.
No, I know.
Doing
just like, I don't know, maybe Cluck.
Yeah.
Every 8
Give a
minutes
moan or
or
a cluck.
something,
Yeah, totally.
No, why don't you start us off and just kind of do like a cadence where like you see geese.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, they're coming in and I'll just fill in the gaps behind you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to me, that sounds a little dirty. That sounds a little dirty,
For
dude.
sure.
And Connor, please chime in. Did that sound a little dirty?
That's good. I think you should do it again.
We should do it again.
Yeah. I'm serious. Like I think you should do it again for, if there's a different way or just to kind of
Yeah, I'll lead this time, okay?
Okay.
And you fill in the gaps.
double it up, give the viewers what they want,
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, boss.
Dude, that
Yeah. I love goose hunting.
dude, that's so much fun, man.
Yeah. I could do that all day.
Oh my God. I mean, comment on the video, but this is not like just getting together with another really good goose caller, dude. It gets me fired up. And guess what? It's April.
Yeah, I know.
We got a lot of months to go, bro.
It's bad, dude.
It's bad. But it's the sentimentality of the whole thing of like, we both learned from the same place. And
Yeah.
I felt like we were still tripping over each other a little
Yeah,
bit.
we for sure were.
But it's just like, it still sounds so dirty,
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
Like, we'll kill a couple geese with that.
A few.
I hope.
So hopefully that helped you guys out. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to give this video a like. And if you haven't heard the full podcast with Simon P. Carlson, go and check that out.